Back at West Banco Arena, tied up at 19, Greyhounds and Bluecats. This is how it unfolded in the first half. Matt Cohn, second play from scrimmage. Derek Stickles, touchdown, and then a little celebration with a flip. Coming right back was Tonton Luziadio for the field goal to make it 7-3. Hounds went up 13-3 on another Stickles touchdown. And it's Dale Jennings getting in for the score for Evansville to make it 13-10. Matt Cohn in the meantime, outstanding first half. There to Cliff Zucchini. That would set up a field goal. Greyhounds defense play there. Lou Daniels knocking that ball away in coverage. And more scoring off of the, that was a missed field goal from Luziadio after a nice stand by the Hounds. And here's Cohn, John, who was just right on the money in that first half.
Well, the two incompletions he threw were by his own design. He had the interception. The other 12 passes that he attempted were all completions to 5 different receivers.
So 12 of 14 for 101 unofficially for Cohn. That's what Dr. Simonson has him at up here in the booth.
I don't care what level of play. When you're 12 of 15, I forgot about the interception. 12 of 15 with those kind of numbers. And you know, in this leg, if I remember correctly, only Shane Franzer had a 200-yard passing game a few years ago.
More the highlights of the first half. Evansville finally getting to Cohn there with the sack. And that threw him off a little bit, got him out of rhythm for the time being. And Evansville, just before halftime, off of a blocked field goal, Keelan Dewberry to LeBron Williams tied the game up. The extra point was no good, could have given Evansville its first lead of the game, but not the case. And that's where we stand, tied at 19 on the Bachman-Hess legal team scoreboard.
Well, what Dewberry does is, you know, Metlack, the quarterback, is more of a pocket passer.
Yes.
And the extra dimension that Dewberry brings, because he did run the football once, I mean, he's more on the move. And the Greyhounds were kind of lining up and just keying on Metlack, forcing him to either one side or the other, using the sides as an extra defender. What Dewberry is giving him a different dimension.
John Worley will give it off to the Bluecats, who will have possession first here in the second half. You remember years past, John, it would be a shock to have a Greyhounds game tied at the half. For that run they had during those championship years, virtually all of their games were blowouts. And a lot of that changed a couple of years ago, and especially last year, a down year for the Hounds. So here we are, knotted at 19 as we start the second half. And it comes down to Green, a couple of yards deep. And Dodrill get an arm on him and bring him down to the 16-yard line.
Dodrill, 6'2", 235 out of Toledo, 12 tackles last week. We shall see what Evansville's going to do at QB.
They're going to stick with Dewberry, at least for the time being. But as you talked about, John, that was planned. That was in the pregame scenario, pregame plans to go with 2 quarterbacks. Both have had moments of success. Here goes Dewberry for his second drive of the night. And he's going to run it on a design play out to the 20-yard line to pick up 4 on first down.
Well, that's the dimension that Dewberry brings. A little bit quicker off of the football. Tackle there made by Chris Foster. Gain of 5, 4.5. Only 1 turnover in this game.
That was the interception. Also want to make a note of the blocked field goal played a factor as well. Dewberry incomplete. Williams had to make an adjustment in midair and couldn't hang on.
And Dodrill was lurking, so he could hear the hoof prints there. But it doesn't appear at this point that Dewberry has the same quality as a passer that Metlack brings.
Doesn't have the, I don't think, the same zip on the football.
Right, that's what I was trying to point out. Different speed, different velocity, and the receivers, you know, you get accustomed to playing the entire half one way, and now this one's going to be just a step slower.
3rd and 6. Greyhounds with the blitz. And incomplete. Streaking was Bennett running a post pattern. And Dewberry off the mark. Pressure coming up the middle by Chad Adams, and again Dodrill. And now Luziadio will trot onto the field to try to give Evansville once again its first lead of the night.
Just wonder how many fakes you would see during the season, because most of these teams do use a quarterback as the holder.
And this one is through.
That looked like it hit the left upright.
Luziadio works that one in. Almost effortless is his approach to those kicks. He just kind of finesses those in, and that one was good to make it 22-19, and he may have had some help on this one.
I don't know if that hit the left upright or not. Look at that camera work. Boom.
Yes, it did.
Hit, deflected in.
So the Bluecats.
So that's now keep this in mind. That's 42 yards in this arena in a 9-foot goalpost, 9 foot wide.
So the Hounds will play for behind for the first time tonight as they get their first possession of the second half.
We'll see if they involve Derek Stickles a little bit more in the offense this half. He had that great start, but he has both of the touchdowns for the Hounds. And they preferred not to kick it high until, just as I say that, they go ahead and do it.
Biggs a yard deep. It's going to bring it left. And some real estate to work with out to the 18-yard line. Stickles really has been silent since those first 2 touchdowns of this game.
One of them was on the receiving end.
There's a look at Derek.
And obviously they've kicked away from him on kickoffs. And let's see if Cone can stay as sharp as he was in the first half.
On first down, he's got room to run, looking for a block. Now ad-lib his way across midfield to the 24. Was trying to direct traffic with James Taylor, who was downfield, to try to spring him free, and Cone just tripped up. He had a lot of green turf ahead of him if he could have eluded that tackler that eventually brought him down.
And I think had Taylor been aware a split second earlier of what Cone was going to do, he could have blocked. But you know, you don't want to have the illegal block as a reaction.
Cone on the run. Austin, and good defense that time by Green, who was flagged once tonight and almost a second time. That time he was all over that play as he broke on the ball, read it well, and knocked it away. 3rd down coming up.
3rd down and 3 for Ohio Valley. You ever notice when you're watching indoor football, a 7-yard run just seems like it's so much longer than that.
Yes.
Of the perspective of the entire field.
Zucchini comes in motion to the bottom. Austin and Taylor take off, and it is Taylor. First down as he's brought down at the 18.
Stickles having a little word there with one of the Bluecats.
So Taylor reprising his performance from last week, turning in another tremendous effort tonight as he leads the Hounds in catches. First 2 games this season.
The defenders on this series have not played the Greyhound receivers as tight at the line of scrimmage as they did in the first half.
5-yard cushion there.
Stickles.
Stickles inside the 10 to the 7. Don Sloan down on the field rejoins us. Don.
And a nice running play for Stickles, but you've seen on this drive a bit of pass pressure in the face of Cone. With the changes due to the injuries, they've had to move the starting right guard to center, and Jay Agnew is now in at right guard. So a bit of a shuffle, 1 man out, with 2 new positions being filled on that line.
Robert Henning now at center. Stickles again. He'll have a first down if this play stands to the 3-yard line, but there is a flag down. We certainly saw our share of those in the first half.
Yeah, it looked like Evansville's right defensive end was in too soon.
Indeed. So the Hounds will let that go by the wayside, and they'll take it 1st and goal. They're going to bring in their bunch formation, their goal line look, and that means Mo Fofana will come in.
So they will take the play at the 3. The penalty would have given them, they got a first down either way,
right,
but that penalty would have left the ball, I believe, at the 6-yard line. So it was still going to be a first down.
So Stickles on back-to-back carries has the Hounds inside the 5. Fofana is in front of him on this I formation. 3rd straight for Stickles, and he is buried back at the 6. Combination coming in there of John Winchester and Johnny Brown.
Well, the defense caved in that right side because he saw the motion went to the right. Agnew was walking that way. Fofana went walking to the right side, and then they just, sheer numbers games overpowered them.
Sakini checks back in now as they'll change the formation. Fofana out. It's Austin and Taylor.
Cone could keep it here. Nope.
Stickles. They can't bring him down. Still churning.
5
to the 3.
orange helmets. And Stickles still gets back to the original line of scrimmage nearly anyway.
Not a guy you're going to be able to arm tackle. The legs kept on plowing back to the original line of scrimmage where it's 3rd and goal. And a key down here for the Hounds. They can regain the lead on this possession. Cone will come back this side.
Got a little bit of room.
And now sacked back at the 7-yard line. Winchester got him, but give the credit to Des Moines Adams out of Nebraska, who had his motor running. He tracked Cone down and cornered him and allowed Winchester to finish him off. And John Worley and the field goal unit will trot on for a chip shot here to try to tie it back up.
Well, Cone looked like he was going to try to score from that angle, and then he saw for a moment his receiver open in the end zone, but there was Teron Acuff, number 10, who just was setting the bait for the interception, and then Cone, of course, then ran out of real estate. It's ironic, Cone and Acuff were teammates at Indianapolis.
And we're tied once again. John Worley makes it deuces wild. 22-22 on the Bachman-Hess Legal Team scoreboard, and even 7 minutes left in the 3rd. It's a good one. Stick with us. We'll be back after this.
See the changes at Grandview Park in Moundsville. Play the par 3 course and watch for the new miniature golf. Playground, new cabins, plus a multi-purpose center coming soon. Come play at Grandview Park in Moundsville this summer.
Tangle's Hair and Nail Studio, St. Clairsville, a full-service hair and nail salon. Waxing, kids cuts, and men's cuts, $8 every day. Ladies, come on in and let the stylist create a new look for you.
No tunnels, no fear. The very best technology is here. Open MRI, the choice is yours.
Marshall County Fair's United Bank building is perfect for your wedding reception, rehearsal dinner, engagement party, or shower. Seating up to 500 with plenty of nearby parking. Call now to reserve the date for your special day.
Tonight's exclusive broadcast on WTOV9 is brought to you locally by the Bachman-Hess Legal Team, the Health Plan, Whiteside, Ohio University Eastern, West Virginia Northern Community College, and the Marshall County Fair. Down at the sidelines again, and Don Sloan. Don? Okay, we'll check in with Don after the Hounds kick off here. And he will have word with the kicker, John Worley. So it makes sense. We can't go down to him now as John Worley is busy kicking off. This game certainly has slowed down from the 16-13 first quarter start.
At the bottom of the screen is number 23, Carnell Green. He's been a problem tonight on returns, but now they're going to Jennings.
Jennings will dance to the 9-yard line. Biggs brings him down. So good coverage by the Hounds on that kickoff.
Pretty neat play by Brock Dodrill. He got down there, forced the return man Jennings to cut up the middle, and there was Biggs waiting on him.
And remaining in at quarterback is Kevin Dewberry. Don Sloan, before this play, what do you have?
I'm here with the kicker, John Worley, and first off, John, take this dirty hat. He's always wearing this hat. Can we please get you a new hat?
It's better than the one I used to wear, the old Marshall one. I don't think it would actually manage to last one more game. It's pretty frail.
John Worley's always the fun. He's got the best seat in the house. He gets done, he does his little kicking thing, and he comes up here and sits in these chairs. You got a great view up here, but you've been busy. How many field goals tonight?
What is that, 3, I think? And then we had a long one blocked, but just do what I got to do.
Now, you're a veteran on this team. How's this team shaping up?
Pretty impressive, considering we have so many rookies and young players that have no experience in this arena, or any arena for that matter. I'm pretty impressed. Last week's first half was a little shaky, but hey.
But you're the old vet. What are you, 40 now?
I'm only 28.
28. Anyway, guys, back to you.
Back-to-back defensive plays by Adams, number 10 of the Greyhounds, forces them into a 3rd and 3. Now, the Hounds in their last series went more to the running game, and now the Bluecats are doing the same.
And Jennings on back-to-back carries. 3rd and 2. Flags down, whistles. Stop this play before it even gets started. And all indications point to another Evansville penalty. Ball starts.
Now,
the Bluecats.
Curtis Poole can do that to you. And on this side, Torrey Johnson just agitating the opponent there and did a nice stutter step. This is the area of the field where the Hounds are, if Evansville's going to run, they're almost positive it's going to be a keeper by Dewberry.
Third and 7. Dewberry. 20 down the sidelines and knocked into the boards at about the Greyhound 20-yard line. So he waited as long as he could to try to attempt the pass, opted to run it, took off down the sideline, and a wise decision because Evansville has a first down at the Greyhound 20-yard line.
Number 64 for Evansville, Doran Yilla out of Western Illinois, 6'4", 310. Just took care of Curtis Poole on that play, and that wiped out that entire left side, and Dewberry was going to go right all the way.
Jennings out of Poole's grasp, but he won't break free of Chad Adams and Lou Daniels. Loss of a yard.
Go back to that previous play where they had Poole completely sealed off. Yet Poole did a complete 360, ran all the way across the field and pinned Dewberry against the boards.
has that Troy Polamalu look he's sporting down there with that free-flowing hair out of the back of the helmets. Approaching the 3:30 mark here in the third quarter.
Adams out of Washington and Jefferson.
Blitz up the middle. Dewberry stands in there, and it's incomplete through the hands of Bennett. Would have been good for a touchdown. On the coverage, Corbin Amos, and Daniels was closing to help.
Bennett thought for sure he had that catch. I mean, he looked like he was looking for the end line. I don't know what happened at the end of the play. But again, this guy did have a stint with both the New York Giants and the New York Jets. Played with Ottawa as well in the CFL.
Dewberry put it there. Another third down. Dewberry converted moments ago on a run, and now Evansville will call timeout. They want to sit down and really talk this one over before a big third down in a tie ball game here in the third quarter. Reminder that it's the AFL next Sunday here on WTOV9 Arena Football. Chicago Rush, Philadelphia Soul Sunday for a 1 o'clock start on WTOV9.
Well, third down and 11, and at the 21-yard line, perhaps Dewberry has been taken out of the option in this situation. It's kind of risky. Trying to pick up 11 yards on the smaller field. So I would expect him to throw the football here, because with the leg that Tauntaun has, it doesn't matter where fourth down if that's what happens, at what point of the field. He just booted a 42-yarder. First timeout for Evansville. So if the Greyhounds can get a stop here.
The Hounds have not been able to find the end zone offensively since that first quarter, that second Derek Stickles touchdown.
Well, touchdowns certainly are a premium, and you say on defense in this league. Well, what if they got a field goal every time they had a possession? They end up with about 30 points. You'd say, yeah, I'd probably take that.
Out of the timeouts.
Watch Bennett at the bottom of the screen.
Dewberry dumps it off to Jennings.
Didn't get it.
To the 12-yard line. Daniels again combining with Adams for the tackle. And no indication yet whether Evansville will go for it or kick. And they have their offense on the field. No field goal attempts here.
Well,
fourth and about 3.
This is where you look for Dewberry to work some of his running ability. But they line up in this I right now, 2 backs.
This is a lead give over the left side. First down and more inside the 5. It's Bennett. They got out of that huddle quick, got up to the line, and had their minds made up what they wanted to run, and they execute it as Bennett comes in and plays a little running back there. Tough run for a first down.
And I think obviously the defense was keeping an eye on Dewberry, but it wasn't anything fancy, just the handoff. And Bennett remains in at tailback. And they've got Jennings as a wide receiver.
Bennett now to the right side. Pull brings him down. Ball loose. They're going to say, though, he was down. As they ran it left, now they bring it back to the right side. At the 3-yard line where it'll be second and goal, and Bennett is asking for some attention as he will limp off the field.
Curtis pull on the tackle, pinned him up against the boards, tried to rake the football out of there. But again, Ryan, that's a hazard you run when you have an inexperienced, you're taking a wide receiver and making a tailback out of it.
This is Galbraith in for the score. No, they're going to say no, he's short. It appeared at first blush that he had crossed the plane, but they're going to mark him down inside the 1 yard line. And time ticking inside of 20 seconds, 15 now, and counting. We'll see if Evansville decides to run this third down play or whether they'll take it into the fourth quarter. They're going to come up to the line. Dewberry will not snap the ball. End of 3 at Westbanco Arena. We were tied at halftime. We're tied heading into the fourth quarter, and a big 3rd and goal for a 3rd and goal for Evansville from the 1.
Now watch this offensive line. 64, 70s. These 3 guys weigh 1,005 pounds. These 3.
Jennings touchdown to start the 4th. Evansville back out on top. Bluecats' second lead of the night.
And that's what happens when you realize you weigh a half a ton.
Very easily done there from a yard out. And this, the biggest lead for Evansville. Health plan replay, nothing fancy at all.
Just size right there. Coons again played at Miami, 6'6", 325, and he's the smallest of the 3.
Make it 29-22, a 7-point cushion for Evansville. Dunn Sloan, where are you?
Well, guys, I'm up here in the end zone with a couple longtime fans here, and you talk about banging the drum for the team. This is Paul, and this is Gooch, and they're up here. We've got drumsticks. We've got this horn thing. Can you blow your horn here for me? Now that's pretty good, but he's known for this. How about banging the drum a little bit?
What's that?
That's pretty good. These guys get the crowd riled up. You've been coming to games as long as the Hounds have been here. Remember one time at Easter, you wore bunny ears for Bunny Jefferson. Remember that?
We always wear bunny ears for Bunny. We miss Bunny.
Well, I don't know if you're doing a good job tonight. We're down 29-22, so you need to start beating the drum for this team.
I'm trying.
Well, let's go. Play us out with the drum.
All right.
Those guys are here every game, and they are non-stop with that banging. You talk about loyalty and consistency. It's right in that front row, right above the end zone. This is Stickles with a chance now. Out to the 24. Late flag comes in behind the play on the Evansville side.
I can't help it. Derek Stickles is one of those guys you think he can score every time he touches the ball.
Holding on the Hounds on the Stickles return. So here are the Hounds. They were down last week big. They led for most of the first half tonight, so Evansville tied it late just before halftime. Now the Bluecats have taken a lead, 3-point lead. It was tied again by the Hounds, and now it's a 7-point advantage for Evansville. And here goes Cone. And it hit the official at the 17-yard line.
Well, sometimes they like to use that official as a shield.
The umpire, yep.
Use him as a pick.
Pass incomplete. 2nd and 10.
You can't imagine that feeling very, very well.
That would have been a tough reception anyway because the receiver was so well covered.
Fake to Stickles. Delivered. Taylor all the way down the 10-yard line as he's knocked into the boards. Good ability by Taylor after the catch to break loose.
What if you're the defender? You've got him covered, and he makes the catch anyway. Cone with time. If you're the defense, you say, what else do I have to do?
Yeah.
Cone just laid it right in there.
Decent coverage, very good coverage, as a matter of fact. We may see encroachment here on Evansville.
Yeah, well, when you're 6'4" and 340 and you encroach, it's pretty noticeable.
Johnny Brown jumped the gun. So the ball up to the 6.
We'll see if they try Stickles here at least once.
They have Stickles split here.
Well, they got him now as a...
Behind Taylor, now he'll come into the backfield. And they do give it to him off the left side.
What a tackle.
Yes, brought down at the 6-yard line. John Winchester.
If he doesn't make that tackle, touchdown. That looked like a well-conceived play. The way they set Stickles up as a wide receiver.
Now time is called on the field. Scoreboard, for the time being, has been shut off. Or we may have lost power on the board.
Winchester out of Louisiana Monroe, 6'3", 235. He had last week 11 tackles, 4 of them for losses.
There's a look at our dilemma right now.
Well, we know it's the 4th quarter and it's 29-22.
Plenty of time left in this game.
Maybe there was what, about 13:27 left? No, 12:35.
So they'll reset the board and it'll give us a chance to tell you that it's the 30th anniversary of Jamboree in the Hills, and WTOV9 will again be broadcasting live from the Hills July 13th through 16th. Don't miss the best country music happening in the entire USA, and it's all here on WTOV9. Great 4-day event. Folks from around the country descend upon the Hills.
Brad Paisley opening night.
All right, we're all reset now. 2nd and goal. And I'm going to say that's encroachment. What do you think? Adams,
He'd come in
unabated.
He'd come in there. Wasn't even anybody to hit.
Boy, you gotta, if you're the Evansville coaching staff, you have to be disgusted with these are mental mistakes, mental penalties. They've had numerous tonight. Be it a false start or jumping off sides, and now they've had that on back-to-back occasions on this drive. Ball now at the 3-yard line.
2nd down and goal.
Bad snap. Cone has to pounce on it. Flirting with disaster there for the Hounds. And
boy, that's giving away the down.
maybe the 3rd time tonight we've seen a low snap back to center.
And again, they've had injury problems there tonight. And so the normal center not there.
Third and goal from the 7. Cone runs into his own man, now steps up at the 5, releases to Austin for a touchdown. And I'm not sure he wasn't beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw that.
Boy, that was very, very close. I thought he may have been.
And now a flag has come in. So this may be coming back.
7-yard line's what you're looking for. There's the 10. Coming up to the 5. See the stick? Boy, I don't know. Couldn't really tell there. But there was a flag in the end zone.
And I believe they got Evansville for a personal foul after the touchdown. So the touchdown stands. Evansville was up in arms over the point at which Cone threw the football. One more look at it. Let's see if we can break this down. You're right down the line there.
Right, it is the football. Now,
release point.
It's too close to call because of the
extremely close.
Yeah,
right.
The angle that we have. I have to give Cone credit. I believe him. Of course, I'm biased. Austin had an unconventional, just the new NFL rule end zone celebration. He just spiked the football.
That's a novel idea, huh? All right, still sorting out the aftermath of the Willie Austin touchdown, which has made it 29-28. We're a John Worley extra point away from again being tied for the third time tonight. And it's blocked. And it's returnable. Worley tries to swat it out of bounds wisely. And, well, we'll see how much this plays a factor. Now a 1-point differential. Don Sloan down on the field. Don?
You know, guys, this team has a lot of rookies on it, but here's one of the vets. His name Willie Austin, a fourth-year Greyhound. And Willie, a huge catch. Tell me about the touchdown.
We needed to get in. We've been kicking field goals, and we just felt like we needed to finish that drive. We need to finish the rest of our drives from here on out. It's the fourth quarter, so it was set up by coach, and it worked.
New quarterback this year, Matt Cone. The offense looking good in a lot of areas. You'd like more touchdowns, but the offense looking good. A lot of guys getting involved.
Yeah, I love it. We got a well-balanced offense this year. It's a lot more balanced. It's not just one guy. We got a bunch of playmakers, so it's real good.
And we can take a look. Here's the play, and tell me what happens here.
Well, it was designed, he was rolling out, but he had to scramble, so I pretty much readjusted my route and just found a hole, and he found me.
And the end zone celebration, pretty basic. Been there before. You just spiked it.
Yeah, I mean, we needed to get in, so I got a little excited, but I probably won't spike the ball for the rest of the season just because of that reason right there. I think that's a crazy rule. I mean, it's entertainment, but
in this day and age, a spike, that's not much of a celebration. Come on, that's pretty basic.
Nah, at least I didn't do no Chad Johnson and did no river dance or nothing like that, So I pull a Terrell Owens and, pull a towel out and be acting like a waiter. So, no, I don't know why they called that, but it's the rules, so I can't say anything.
Willie Austin, he's been there before. Hopefully he'll be there again tonight. Back to you.
Jennings did a nice job after initially bobbling the ball deep in the end zone to get it out to the 23-yard line of Evansville, and that'll happen sometimes when the kickoff is bobbled by a receiver. It freezes the defense because they have to adjust on the fly, and actually sometimes is advantageous for the return team, as was the case there. And they're going to tack on. It looks like now they're going to re-kick this thing. Well, no, they're going to spot it all the way down at the Greyhounds' 12-yard line.
We had some extracurriculars way back here away from the play on the 15-yard line. And that's what it's about. I'm going to go back to that where Cone nearly crossed the line of scrimmage. I got thinking about that, Ryan. The line of scrimmage was the 3. They got the 3-yard penalty. The stick should have been placed at the 6-yard line, not the 7.
Right.
And so that was clearly behind the line of scrimmage.
So this will be a sizable.
Now, I don't know. I just saw the players scrapping against the near side.
There hasn't been anything announced yet.
And it was
when I initially saw the group walking back that way, it appeared for a moment like as if they were going to kick off again. One more look on that while they're sorting this one out.
Now remember, we're looking at really the 6-yard line, not the 7. See, right, he's past the 7-yard line, but is he past the 6? No. The stick was spotted at the 7.
And your point of contention is that the actual line of scrimmage is the 6-yard line.
Yes.
Therefore, there is no dispute in that instance.
Right, it was borderline at the 7, 6.5, but really the line of scrimmage, because of the penalty, moved it from the 3 to the 6.
Let's reset it for you. 29-28, Evansville. Return by Jennings, tack on the personal foul penalty, and the Bluecats are inside the Greyhound 14. Dewberry remains a quarterback. Flushed. It's caught at the 2, and inside the 1 is Williams. Dewberry also had a chance to run that football if he wished. First and goal coming up. And again, the 1 point off that extra point. If Evansville scores here, it could be an 8-point lead, meaning if the Hounds somewhere down the line wish to tie this game, they'll have to go for 2. Approaching the 10-minute mark, plenty of time left here at West Banco.
A turnover-free Evansville Bluecat team.
Jennings stuck at the 2.
Lewis Daniels.
Daniels, Adams, and even Foster.
Again, many of us thought they would use that 1,000 pounds of the 3 guys up front and just pound it in. They did not. You're not going to get in too often running against Curtis Poole. Number 8.
Fake it to Jennings. Dewberry. Complete to Jennings for a touchdown. Wow. So he fakes it to him. He comes back, does a little dance. Now he's doing a post-touchdown dance. Delivers to Jennings, and that's what Dewberry can do for you here. Touchdown, Evansville.
Johnson slips and falls, but they still have him penned in.
Good look on the health plan replay.
Now 9:13 to go.
And Dewberry, who came in relief of Metlack, has given the Greyhounds all sorts of problems with his scrambling and ad-libbing. And here's Luziadio to make it an 8-point game, 36-28. That's the biggest Evansville lead of the night. 8 for Evansville, and the Bachman Hess legal team scoreboard, 36-28, 8:59 left in this contest. Derek Stickles set to receive the kick along with Dennis Biggs. This will bounce off the